I ask unanimous consent for 2 minutes of debate equally divided.
Without objection.
As we can tell this week, Washington is completely
Will the senator
dysfunctional.
yield? The Senate will be in order.
As we can tell this week, Washington is completely dysfunctional, and the unwillingness to work together has caused multiple government shutdowns. If members of Congress cannot work together to pass a budget, they should not be getting paid. It's pretty simple. If we can't do our jobs, we shouldn't get a taxpayer-funded salary. My no budget, no pay amendment simply requires Congress to meet appropriations bill deadlines or forego their own salaries until the job is done. This is a simple concept.
Senator yield. Will the Senate please be in order? Take your conversations outside. Thank you.
There is no reason members of Congress should be held to a different standard than American families and businesses across the nation. Accountability shouldn't be controversial. I hope our colleagues will join me in this motion.
Mr. President, my colleague from Florida may not know it, but this is a budget. It's a $1.9 trillion reconciliation budget, which in fact turns out to be the most significant piece of legislation for working people that has been passed in decades. Finally, Congress is doing its job. Unfortunately, my friends on the other side have used delaying tactics after delaying tactics, obstruction, obstruction, obstruction. The American people want action. They want action now. I urge my colleagues to oppose this motion.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Is there a sufficient second? There is. The clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Baldwin. Ms. Baldwin. No. Mr. Brasso. Mr. Brasso. Aye. Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett. No. Mrs. Blackburn. Mrs. Blackburn. Aye. Mr. Blumenthal. Mr. Blumenthal. No. Mr. Blunt. Mr. Blunt. Aye. Mr. Booker.
No.
Mr. Booker.